Caption close NWOYA, Uganda, AP, Richard Opio dipped a dirt-stained hand into the pinkish beans, marveling at the dramatic changes they've made for his family. They used to harvest 2 sacks of normal beans, now they take in 6. The so-called super bean, a fast-maturing, high-yield variety, is being promoted by Uganda's government and agriculture experts amid efforts to feed hunger-prone parts of Africa. It's also a step toward the next goal, the super bean that researchers hope can be created through genetic editing. The beans that Opio now tends are thrilling farmers in this impoverished part of northern Uganda that also strains under the recent arrival of more than 1 million refugees from its war-torn neighbor, South Sudan. The International Center for Tropical Agriculture says the beans have been bred by conventional means to resist the drought conditions that can lead to starvation as arable land disappears. The group operates one of just 2 bean gene banks in Africa, which is expected to be hit hardest by climate change even though the continent produces less than 4% of the world's greenhouse gases, according to the UN Development Programme. One gene bank is on the outskirts of Uganda's capital, Kampala, where the beans that Opio now farms were bred. The other is in Malawi in southern Africa. Beans kept at the 2 banks are sent to partners in 30 countries across the continent to be developed further so they can cope with local conditions. The Uganda Bank stores around 4,000 types of beans, including some sourced from neighboring Rwanda before its 1994 genocide killed around 800,000 people and wiped out many of the country's bean varieties. The beans have to go through certain rigorous tests before they can be released to the general public, to make sure they do actually address all the issues well and perform well in different climatic conditions, said Stanley Ngalyabo, a legumes research scientist with Uganda's National Agricultural Research Organization. The red-striped bean that 35-year-old Opio now harvests is called NABE15, and it has proved so popular that the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization recently contracted a large commercial producer to supply 21 tons for distribution to South Sudanese refugees as planting materials. Aid workers hope the beans will encourage the refugees to grow their own food rather than rely on handouts, which in some cases have been cut because of funding shortages. It is important that other sources of food be found to complement the food assistance, said Beatrice Okolo, Senior Program Manager with FAO in Uganda, saying that just 50 kilograms of planting seeds are expected to yield of up to 2,000 kilograms of beans. Experts say the super beans are valuable because they cook quickly and tolerate most diseases and pests. It is also a shiny red color, which local consumers like, and it's sweeter, said Drive. Robin Buruchara, Director of the Pan-African Bean Research Alliance. On a recent morning, contractor Felix Odom watched as colleagues packed planting materials into FAO-branded bags destined for a nearby refugee camp. The beans will save many lives, he said.